2, 1.
Welcome to the Midweek Mic Drop Podcast with Latanya and Maliva,
Are you ready to listen to a podcast?
where real conversations meet real life. Unfiltered takes on faith, relationships, culture, and everything in between.
Now you can start listening.
Let's talk truth and drop the mic.
Welcome to the Midweek Mic Drop Podcast. I am Maliva.
And I am Latanya.
Yes, we're welcoming everyone over on 99.9 KERB, 107.7 K-Twin and K-Twin Mix. And we are also live streaming on our YouTube and Instagram channels. So hello to everyone out there. And if you are listening to us on the radio and would prefer to come over to YouTube or Instagram, I'm gonna need you to get down. I'm sorry, y'all. My dogs are also in the studio with us.
Scratch me.
Oh, child, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
If you want to go ahead and tune into YouTube or Instagram, it is Midweek Mic Drop Podcast. That is where we're at. Okay. So how was your week?
It was good. It was really good. I've enjoyed my week.
Okay, I haven't. As some of y'all may know, we were not here last week because my allergies kind of really beat me down since not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before. So we're talking about 10 days.
Oh my goodness.
I was just underwater, y'all. I went through so many boxes of tissues. It's not even funny, but the sinus pressure was what was really holding me back. So I feel a lot better. My voice might not be 100%. I feel kind of like I got to keep clearing my throat, but that's okay. We're going to get through it. So what we're talking about today is foundational Black Americans. For those of you who have never heard that term before, we are going to break it down as far as what that means, where it came from, and then we're also going to talk about how foundational Black Americans to some of us is thought to actually be the tribe of Judah in the Bible. So my co-host Latanya is going to break that part of it down. But before we do that, I kind of want to let you guys know what a foundational Black American is and kind of get a little bit more into that. So they do have a website. It is officialfba.com, Foundational Black American. So this is the history. Foundational Black Americans, FBA, are the proud descendants of the Black men and women who endured and survived one of the greatest atrocities in human history, American slavery. These resilient ancestors built the United States from the ground up, laying the foundation for the nation's economic, political, and cultural development. However, the rich history of the FBA did not begin in 1619. Y'all hold on to this because this is what blew my mind. With the arrival of enslaved Black people in Virginia, it began nearly a century earlier. In 1526, Spanish colonizer Lucas Vasquez de Ayllón, brought the first documented enslaved Black people to the shores of what is now the South Carolina and Georgia coastline. Shortly after their arrival, these enslaved Black people courageously revolted against their captors, leading to the collapse of the Spanish settlement. The surviving Spaniards retreated to the Caribbean, leaving behind the liberated Black people. These freed Black people integrated with local Native American societies, marking a pivotal and often overlooked chapter in the lineage and cultural evolution of foundational Black Americans. Since that defining moment in 1526, the culture and identity of foundational Black Americans have been deeply rooted in building resilience, resistance, and an unwavering fight for justice. This spirit of perseverance and ingenuity. Whew, come on, brain. has shaped every aspect of American society, from infrastructure and agriculture to music, art, and political activism. FBA are an exceptional people whose enduring legacy continues to inspire generations. It is important to clarify that Foundational Black Americans is not a group or an organization, and there is no designated leader of FBA. FBA is a lineage-based designation that specifically refers to over 43 million Black Americans who are direct descendants of the freedmen, the formerly enslaved Black people who were emancipated in the United States. This lineage represents a unique and unbroken connection to the foundational builders of this nation. We honor and celebrate the rich history, cultural contributions, and unyielding strength of foundational Black Americans. This recognition is not only a tribute to our ancestors, but also a commitment to preserving and advancing the legacy they established. Period. So what you think about that?
I think that the part that gets me the most, we talk about how America was built, how the slaves built it. And I think that that's what caught me so much, is because now we have to, in all the time that has passed, all the things that we've accomplished, we still have to fight just to be respected on the land that we cultivated.
Right.
You know, that's a lot to think about. And then, you know, what's last shall be first, and what's first shall be last. So you think about things like that, those, you know, from the Bible. Right. And you wonder, how does it play into where we have been as Black Americans? Right. Where we've gone and where we're going. I honestly had heard about this, you know, before, about, you know, who we actually are, but I never really did a research and found any evidence on that. So this was very interesting for me. Okay. Very much interesting for me. But it made a little bit of sense once they tied the Bible verses to what the beliefs are. But it's also about interpretation. Yeah. I've read that a few times too. So, but I think it's a very interesting topic, and it's an opportunity, it's a teachable moment, because although, you know, that may be just a theory, but the reasons why that theory exists are facts, or biblical, you know, biblical words. So we're just trying to, you know, so you have people trying to put it all together and make it make sense. But then it does when they put it together and make it make sense. It does. And it's still just a theory. Yeah. You know?
I'm going to be honest, because it is crazy, because, you know, the word woke has been slandered all over the place now. It just has no meaning at all anymore. But back in the day, when we used to say the word woke, we were referring to those Black brothers and sisters who would be like, we are this and we are that. And we would be like, man, stop. But now, as you get a little older and you actually start researching some of this stuff on your own, it's like, wait a minute. This is starting to make just a little too much sense. So I feel like some of us are late to the woke party. Yeah. You know, shout out to those brothers and sisters, and, you know, my apologies, because they wasn't crazy. Okay, they weren't crazy at all. No. Researching some of this stuff. But I feel like one of the biggest reasons why it's important to acknowledge ourselves as foundational Black Americans versus African Americans, because, y'all, listen, I'm going to speak for me. My side of that family that comes as slaves over here have been here for over 400 years. Okay, but I can trace some that have been here prior. So what they're talking about is very real. The freedmen from 1526. So there are some ancestors that were already here, right, prior to the 1600s. Already free. They was already here, and they were already free because they fought against the Spaniards. Okay. But for me, I feel like the Africans right now, this is where we gonna get a little deep, y'all. We got some beef with them right now. Or I should say they got beef with us. Oh. What's happening is they're coming over here and immediately stepping into the colonizer mindset.
Right.
Meaning
Right.
that, oh, we just gonna follow all the rules and the laws and we'll be fine. Y'all, Black Americans, y'all really be making it hard on yourselves.
Yeah.
Just follow the rules, follow
Yeah.
the laws. We come over here and we open our shops and we do this and we do that. And it's like, the only way I could say it is they're spitting in our face. Because had it not been for us putting
wouldn't
in
be
the
able to come
work,
over
you
here.
wouldn't even be able to get off that airplane, beloved.
That's true.
Okay. It's also the fact that they take our culture, they love to take our culture, the hip hop, all of that, and put it in elements of their own music, the clothing, all of that.
Oh yeah, especially the fashion.
Yeah, the fashion
Oh,
and
yeah.
all of that, and then still try to beat us down.
Yeah.
Like, y'all ghetto, y'all this, y'all ain't this and that.
Y'all have all this opportunity and you don't take advantage of it. That's what
Yeah.
they say. But they
That
don't
part.
know that the opportunities come with stipulations.
They do heavy
And
stipulations.
some opportunities you got to almost sell your soul to get. Everything
don't
ain't
get it.
always they don't get it because although they may come from a third world country, they may come from a large continent where there's a lot of poverty and everything. They don't know what it's like to have people intentionally oppress you.
Right. What was
They don't.
that?
I don't know.
That was
not sure.
strange.
But they don't know what it's like to live in, they come from a place where everyone pretty much looks the same. You do
Yeah.
have some other people there.
Yeah.
They don't know what it's like to be the one person in the room, this race and another mix, and people are, you think they're whispering, talking about you because you're so
Yeah.
used to them having a negative outlook on you because of the way you look. They don't know that. They don't know
Yeah.
systemic racism. They don't know oppression. They don't know enslavement
Yeah.
like it's known here.
Oh, they make fun of us for that.
They think that it's funny.
They think that
And
it's
so,
funny.
And so they could never understand what you go through. I really hate when people say that, oh, it was so long ago, let it go.
I hate that.
I
with a
hate
passion.
that too.
Don't tell me that.
I
Don't
really
ever say
hate
that to my face.
because you got to look at how long it lasted
yeah.
and how long it's been over. It hasn't even been 200 years yet.
And that's just slavery. That's not Jim Crow. And
That's
that's not
right.
what we're at, the Jim Crow 2.0, which is
2.0,
what we're going,
through right now. Exactly.
So, yeah, that I don't like that, but I will say this. They are colonized. Many of those
Mm-hmm.
countries are already colonized. So, you got whites over there taking over whole cities.
Right.
And pushing them out. So I won't say that they don't understand any of it.
I mean, look
It's
at
just
South
that,
Africa.
Yeah, it's just that they don't fight back. That's the problem.
Right. And and like I said, with them, they have to fight their own military, their own, their own law enforcement.
Yeah.
But to know what it is for someone to say, okay, well, I'm not going to give this to you. You don't deserve that because of the color of your skin.
Right.
That's a different.
They don't get that.
They don't get that.
They
and you
will
can't
never
expect them
understand.
to. And we have to, I hate to say this, but just because someone looks like us don't mean they're a part of our team.
They're not.
There's one thing to share characteristics and to be a part of the same classification of people, but there's another thing to be on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
I want everybody to listen to what I'm saying. The same team.
Yeah. We're not on the same
We're not on the
team.
same team. So,
So,
we're not running plays together.
Let me fix your camera over
Okay.
here. On Instagram.
Okay.
You a little out of focus on
Okay.
Instagram. My bad.
Okay. I'm just mouthing off.
No,
but-
no. It's not your fault. It's just that Instagram got us looking a little weird, but that's okay. Yeah. So the African folk over there, and I'm gonna tell y'all the story that I told Latanya before we came on, just to let y'all know how deep it is. Their disgust or disdain for us really runs. Okay. There was a Nigerian woman who was in Asia. I can't remember if it was China or Japan. I don't remember. But she was in a boutique and they were trying on dresses or whatever, and they got into an altercation with the Asian shop owner, and the Asian shop owner proceeds to call her the N-word. And her response to this, her response was, "I'm sorry, but I'm not an African American. She said, I'm not a Black American. I am Nigerian, with her whole chest.
So like she's saying, well, you could say that to them, but not to me.
Yeah, exactly.
That's who they are, not
me. You can
me.
call them that. I've never been a slave. That's them, not us. And because they don't understand that it doesn't matter from what continent you come from, what corner of the world you come from. Racists do not like your skin tone. They do not like your skin color. They hate it with a passion. And so it doesn't matter if you speak with this accent or you walk around bourgeois.
No one cares.
Does not matter about your money. They don't care about any of that. You are still the N-word to them, ma'am.
Doesn't care.
And I said this, I believe I said this when we were on a couple weeks ago, talking about how everyone in the globe is against Black Americans. And when I say everyone, I just told you the story of the Asian woman, okay? You got Asians against us. You got Mexicans against us. Obviously, white people goes without saying. White Americans, white Europe. You've got Africans against us. People in Africa are against us. So this is where it kind of ties into the biblical thing.
They've even suckered us into being against each other. The men and the women.
And then we against one another. That's the sad part about it. We got so many people against us right now, y'all. And it's so important that we start coming together. And I know it sounds like a trope. We keep saying this. We got to come together, rise together. But honestly, y'all, it's real. We really do have to stop this infighting, the colorism, men and women, black men and black women fighting one another, all of this.
Right.
We got to stop, y'all, because we literally got knives and arrows pointed at us from every direction of the globe. So it's so important that we come together. But you want to get into what you got about the foundational Black Americans and the tribe of Judah. This is where it gets interesting, y'all.
Okay, so I found some information, and I'm going to basically read it off, but I'm not going to read it word for word. I'm going to read from it based on what I got out of it. Okay. So it talks about the idea of Black Americans are specifically descended from the biblical tribe of Judah comes from several different religious and historical movements. Most prominently, some branches of the Black Hebrew Israelites and related Afrocentric interpretations of the Bible. So it says that, you have to make sure that you can determine, whether it's religious belief, interpretation, historical evidence, or mainstream scholarship. And I was talking to Michelle about that, Maliva, before we got started. I was saying that that's the thing about it. You read all this information and it all just comes together, but then you still go back to it's still... and I think this is the reason why it's not being honored, because they're still standing on it's a theory.
Yeah, it's just a theory.
It's just a theory.
Yeah.
All right. So the core belief, and it's groups that teach this often believe that Africans in the diaspora, especially descendants of enslaved people in the Americas, are the true Israelites of the Bible. Black Americans are specifically linked to the tribe of Judah, one of the 12 tribes of Israel. This one is the one that that really got us. It said the suffering of slavery and displacement fulfills biblical prophecies about exile and oppression, and it does.
It does.
It does. There also give some books of the Bible that talk about it. There's Deuteronomy, Jeremiah, Isaiah, and Revelation. There's also some historical background. And it says that the belief grew visibly in the late 1800s, early 1900s. I thought that timeline was interesting too, because it's around the time that slavery was coming to an end. So I find it to be quite interesting as well that was discovered during the same time that slavery was abolished. And it says that among African Americans searching for identity, dignity, and spiritual meaning after slavery and segregation. So what they're trying to say is that when people were looking for identity, dignity and spiritual meaning, slavery was ending. But they don't know the exact date of when this belief became about. And I think that if we can find out when that exactly that is, it'll kind of say a lot to us too. So there's some groups that emerged from that. There's the Church of God and Saints of Christ, Commandment Keepers, Ethiopian Hebrew Congregation, and various Black Hebrew Israelite camps and congregations. There's also, so now it's talking what the mainstream historians say. This was interesting for me because although we got this information from the believers. There's some historians that have done research and they found different things, and it says that most historians, archaeologists, geneticists, and biblical scholars do not conclude that Black Americans as a whole can be historically verified as descendants of the tribe of Judah. They're saying that the ancient Israelites originated in the ancient Near East.
Yeah.
The tribe of Judah historically referred to a kingdom centered around Jerusalem. Okay? And then there is no conclusive historical or genetic evidence tying all African Americans specifically to Judah. And it makes you wonder if you've watched any of these channels, these history channels, what they have, like the museum channel or whatever, they're always able to tie DNA from hundreds of years ago. So why hasn't this been able to be tied to Black Americans? That's what I would like to know.
Okay, so I pulled this out because as you was talking, my mind was going.
All right.
And there's two things. There's two things here, and I gotta write something down before I forget. Jerusalem and this also ties into the Catholic Church as well. When they say that what they're doing is they're trying to get us to believe that Jerusalem were these olive-skinned people, the Jewish people. Here's the issue with that. There's at least one Catholic church, and I should have had the name of this church, and I thought I put the photos up here, but they're not here. And they're showing Jerusalem back in 1920. I think it was 1920. These were Black Africans. These were African people that occupied Jerusalem. And this church, this Catholic church, has a Black Madonna, the mother of Christ, Mary, holding a Black baby Jesus. This is a Catholic church in what I will say is a white space, okay?
Right.
So if the Catholic Church, at least this one from a long, long time ago, is acknowledging that Mary was a woman of color, a Black woman, and that Christ was a Black baby, and we have photos of Jerusalem with Black people in it, are we crazy, or is the rest of the world trying to cover up the truth?
We're trying to cover up a lot of things. You go back and look. Even if everybody do your research, go back and look for Native Americans. Search Native Americans. Like the oldest picture of a Native American, that person is dark skinned. If you go and you look up old pictures of Chinese, a lot of them were dark skinned. And from what I've been told, you go to those places, you still have your darker skinned people there, but they're clearly of that nationality. I think that's something else that kind of gets mixed up too. You got Black and white everywhere, pretty much. But there's some lands where it's been told, and evidence shows that at one time everyone there was of a darker skin tone.
Yeah, everyone was. And the reason why is because everyone came out of Africa.
Yeah.
That is why it's called the motherland. And you still, and okay, so here we go. This is one thing that baffles me, because they put Eden, the Garden of Eden. This is where the Bible and science do not agree.
Okay.
Because they put the Garden of Eden, the Garden of Eden in the Middle East, Israel, wherever, Iraq, whatever, Iran or Iraq, I'm trying to remember, but it's up that way. Okay.
I thought that a man I forgot his name, a historian a long time ago, actually proved that the Garden of Eden was in the Congo. In Africa.
See.
That was years ago. That man proved that.
I did not hear about that.
He proved that years ago. I'm going to go back and I'm going to find it. He proved that, and he's dead now.
Okay.
But the Garden of Eden was somewhere in the Congo. Yeah.
So they're saying, well, does the Euphrates run through the Congo? Because Garden of Eden also was right there where the Euphrates is at.
I have to look that
That's
up.
what they say. Okay.
I have to look that up.
So yeah.
But I do remember him saying that. I watched a lot of like National Discovery. I watch a lot
like
of
my husband,
archaeology.
he watches that
I
stuff.
watched a lot of that stuff, and I remember that. I remember that. So that's why I'm saying y'all can take the blood from the tomb that Jesus came out of and think you can find descendants, but you can't. Some way find out,
Yeah.
Something is up with that.
I feel like it is definitely a cover up because if he's saying the Garden of Eden, why can't I talk today,
It's
y'all?
It's okay.
The Garden of Eden is in Congo. Then that would make a lot more sense with scientists saying that human life started on the continent of Africa.
Right.
Because that means that God created the first people in Africa in the Garden of Eden. It would just make so much more sense.
Right. And there was also another one that I was watching, and he said that in the book of David, it's been removed from a lot of formats the Bible is written in, where David mentioned that the people were so black that they had these bluish hues to their skin, but they started removing it. Like things are being strategically covered up so that we don't know the truth.
Yeah.
And it's getting like bold in our faces.
Yeah, and I feel like that's one of the biggest reasons why we do get the hate that we get there, because I feel like everyone knows the truth except for us.
Yeah, everyone knows our worth.
Everyone knows what we're worth except for us.
Except for us.
And this is sad.
It is very sad. But that's why they have this thing. They said, you want to hide something from us, put it in a book. And now we have the internet. You can go on the internet and get on there and read a book. I every day strive to learn something about history,
right?
Or something that affects me and my family. And I think that it's important that as Black Americans that you do look into the history, because if you know where you went, then you'll know where you're going. But I think that sometimes it's like pain behind it.
It is. It's a lot of pain, a lot of trauma.
But we have to be educated about it.
Yeah, and I also feel like this is one of the reasons why they're bent on changing history now. They're like removing certain books. They're trying to change curriculums in schools to not even talk about slavery at all. But y'all got to understand that was not our beginning. Slavery was not our beginning.
It was not.
That was just a saga in our chapter, a chapter in our book, I should say. That was not our beginning. And so we really do have to start getting out of the normal history books and start finding those books. And I know the FBA, they do have some books listed that can kind of help on that journey of digging a little deeper. So again, that's officialfba.com, or is it org? Hold on, y'all, because I don't want to give y'all the wrong information. I'm telling you, it's been a couple weeks and my brain is not functioning today. It is officialfba.com. So they do have some information on there, but I feel like with the hatred that we get, you have to understand the Jews will say that they are the most hated group on the planet. And to that I would say, if they are, it has to do with everything to do with those Ashkenazi Jews from Europe that are currently in Israel doing what they doing. There's no better advocate for anti-Semitism than the people that are in Israel.
That's true.
You are the biggest cause of the anti-Semitism because of your leader and what y'all are doing. And then it was crazy because something took me over the threads, and there was this pasty, pale European woman talking about, I am a Jew, I am an Israeli, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, ma'am. This pretend stuff of being a Hebrew is kind of is getting old. Yeah. Because even if you don't believe that the Hebrews were black, we do know that they were not pale skinned Europeans. Right. Come on, let's keep
y'all
it very real.
At y'all like, are you okay? Like,
I'm looking at you sideways, ma'am. You belong over in Poland somewhere. You belong over in London or Germany. Get on up out of there. That is not your land.
That's people of color when you start getting in that area. That's people of color.
I mean, come on. Even if you don't believe that these people were black, we know that they were not white. If anything, they would have been brown. Okay,
Right.
They would have been brown.
True.
Okay, but definitely not white. So she's over there just, oh, this is my land. And I'm like, lady, listen, get your flight back to Europe and stop playing with us, okay?
I mean, this is your land, but the thing about it is when they came over, there were already people here. Mm-hmm. And they were people of color also.
Yeah.
And it's been said that some of them were dark skinned.
Yeah.
The land, when they got here, the land they were already impressed with the land.
Yeah. Beautiful, because the United States is beautiful.
Yeah.
It is beautiful.
It was already cultivated. Mm-hmm. And the land where they came from wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They went to Africa and saw the land. They liked the land.
Yeah.
The land where they were wasn't cultivated like
it wasn't. But we're uncultured and all of that. And
yeah.
there was another video that I saw, and I think this one was over on Instagram, and it was a white man, crazy enough, talking about how, and we already kind of know this, how there were certain kingdoms in Africa that were so advanced. Because a lot of these races today, you know what they do. Like, literature came from England and all of the blah, 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 and Italy and all of this. And he was like, no, y'all been on earth for 1,000 years. Be quiet. Okay, we going way back 2, 4, 5,000 years. These are writings, advanced writings, writings for buildings, engineering, things like that.
Right.
This was all coming from the continent of Africa before that race even came into existence.
Right.
So it's like, no, what y'all have done is destroyed as much as you can, and then lied about the rest of it. Got us over here, beat us, enslaved us, and made us, forget who we were. Now pushing us into projects, pushing guns and alcohol and drugs and all of this stuff, making us fight one another. This is reality, y'all.
Yeah.
This is reality.
Yeah.
And that's why when I hear like a racist white person saying, oh, black on black crime, I'm like, also a result of your ancestors.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing that y'all touched that good actually came out of it.
That's true. Crumble.
And I hope don't nobody, feel no kind of way by what I'm saying, because I'm not going against white people, but I am saying a hard truth. Okay? You colonized, you stole,
right?
You
definitely
enslaved,
stole.
you murdered, you raped, you tortured. This is you. When I hear a white person say we got culture, okay, you want to talk about your culture? Y'all want a White History Month? Let's do a White History Month. It is not going to be what you think it's going to be. We're not going to be celebrating y'all celebrating SEC games, okay? Mm-hmm. You want white history, let's give it to you.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be a lot of things involved with that.
Matter of fact, baby, you gonna need all 12 months, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, you are.
You gonna need all 12 months.
You definitely are.
We're not even talking about just here in the United States. We gonna talk about from the very moment that y'all came out, okay, of those caves of the Caucasus Mountains. Mm-hmm. We're gonna talk about all of it. So that's gonna be about 12 months worth. So anyway, yeah, y'all, we need to really, really get into these books and study a little bit more about that history, because, yeah, I was one like, nah, I ain't buying that. Them people were Jewish because we've been told that this is what the Jewish people from that time looked like, because that's what they look like now. That doesn't mean that what you see now, an average Middle Eastern person, that doesn't mean that's what they looked like back then.
Right. They were darker. Okay,
they were darker. They were African. So it makes sense that when they say foundational Black Americans are the tribe of Judah, that just makes so much more sense to me now.
Yeah.
And you got anything else?
I'm trying to see.
Because I did have some other stuff to read on the Oh, and I do have the flag now. Wait a minute. I do want to put up this picture of the flag. Hold on, can you give me my my mouse here? All the people on radio that can't see me don't know what's going on. Yeah, okay. So I'm putting up the flag. This is the FBA flag, and it is, and you're gonna have to look at it afterwards. But it's basically the black, it's black and red with the red stripes on the side, and it's got that gold kind of filigree in the inside. That is the FBA flag. And there's actually a couple of them, but this is the one that's most popular, the one that most people are going after and buying. And I actually want to get one, but I'm a little scared to put that thing out here. I don't know, you know, if that would make me but most of them people probably wouldn't even understand what it is. They probably think it was some sort of terrorist flag because they don't know no better. She's a terrorist. So yeah, we probably would get a lot of that. But I do have some more to read from the FBA. And I actually had something that was from about Judah as well. Hold on, let me get back to the FBA site. So, okay, here it is. Y'all do realize, I don't know if you know this, but we got our own language as well. Tutanese. Have you heard of that before?
No.
Tutanese. Okay. You're going to have to look into that because I've been Tutanese.
I'm going to look at that tonight.
Okay. So here we go. It says this is a festival, the FBA holiday. I didn't know anything about this until today. The FBA holiday is Arutasus. Arutasuse. This is Tutanese for arise. This is the language. The word is arise in Tutanese. It is Arutasuse.
Well, no one never told me that.
Yeah, we got a language. I've been seeing them on TikTok. They be speaking them. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not English. And I'm going to the comments and people are writing it in, like speaking this entire language. And what Tutanese is, it's kind of simple, but not. But it was like a code language for the slaves, so that the slave masters did not know what they were talking about.
Smart. They had to.
How about that? We actually created, or they, I ain't gonna say we because I ain't had nothing to do with that. Let me stop. They actually created a brand new language, a brand new dialect that no one else could understand.
That's
now it's worth noting that you can't just go to Google or go and, you're not going to find this on Google Translate. It is a closed language. So you have to find someone that speaks it and like DM or email them and let them know, hey, you gonna have to prove who you are, because they don't want it getting to the wrong people and thus being colonized.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it is a closed language, but Arutasuse is a holiday that celebrates the foundational Black American culture of freedom fighting and resistance. Arutasuse means arise in the traditional foundational Black American Tut language. They call it Tut. It's Tutanese, but shortened is Tut language. During the antebellum slavery period in America, many foundational Black Americans would cleverly plot and execute their escape from bondage around the Christmas season. These enslaved freedom warriors understood that slave owners would be more preoccupied with holiday festivities during this time of the year. Also, enslaved foundational Black Americans were allowed more access to visit family and friends on other plantations during this season as well. Very smart. The rebel warriors used these relaxed policies as an opportunity to rise to freedom. Another celebration that was prevalent among enslaved people in the Americas was a parade called Junkanoo. I've never heard of that
Never heard of it either.
Foundational Black Americans engaged in these activities around Christmas time, where they would parade around to different plantations playing multiple instruments while dressed in outrageous costumes. They would often dress in costumes that mocked, the white slave owners. Some believe the Junkanoo celebrations were often used as distractions to divert attention away from the enslaved people who were trying to escape to freedom. So they would use these festivals, these crazy costumes, and all of that to kind of draw attention away from the ones getting away, escaping. Arutasuse, or Rise Day, will be celebrated every year on December 24th.
Oh, so Christmas Eve.
Oh, I could definitely add that in. I could definitely do that, but
I
I
don't
need
know
to
why I
see
thought
what
you were
they
going to say it's
do.
something that happens in the summer or something. I wasn't looking for it to happen on
December
Christmas Eve.
20. Yeah, because remember they said that they usually would do this around Christmas because the slave owners were so preoccupied with Christmas
Yeah.
celebrations and all of that. So it makes sense. On this day, foundational Black Americans should gift another person a book that will lift the consciousness of that person. So they're saying if you celebrate it, gift a book that's going to give knowledge and wisdom and consciousness.
I think that's important.
That's very important. This will pay homage to the foundational Black American ancestors who risked their lives learning how to read and teaching others how to read. Understanding this history will help us step into each new year with a sense of empowerment, and we will make that empowerment part of our tradition and culture. Remember, you guys, the website is officialfba.com. So everything that I read is on that website, and then they've got some other resources. They've got some merchandise, flags, all of that. So you can go check that out. And there's some other resources as well. If you just Google FBA, Foundational Black Americans, there will be some other resources. Now, I will say something because we talked about this off air about the Black Hebrew Israelites. I kind of want to get into that just for a second because it's a whole lot of groups that don't like them. And I was one of them. I still have some issues with some of their, I guess, their doctrine or the way they talk, the way they treat their women. I still have some issues with that. But one thing that I will say is that they are on board with this, Black Americans being the true Israelites, specifically from the tribe of Judah.
Right.
I told LaTanya earlier before we got on air that there's also, they're saying that Mexicans, natives, and it was some Caribbeans, that's who it is, Caribbean people are also Israelite tribes. So it's not just Black Americans, but them as well. So, which is a little confusing because I thought, the Mexicans was already here over here on this side. I don't know.
Well, from what I understand, they're descendants of Native Americans.
Right.
Other Indians who may have been here from the beginning, who may not have been.
Yeah.
We don't know.
How would they be from the tribe from any of the Israelite tribes, though, if they was on the other side of the world? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know. Got to look into that a little bit more, but we talking about us right now, so we just gonna focus on us. We are supposedly from the tribe of Judah, and I'm telling y'all, when you start reading the Bible more and more, and then you start reading up on some of this other stuff. Look, my co-host over here about to fall asleep, y'all.
I'm so tired.
She is tired,
tired,
y'all. We
I'm
almost
sorry.
done. We almost done. We got
sorry,
about
y'all.
19 minutes. If you
Had a
could
long day.
hold on, just about 18 minutes now. We almost
I can
there.
hold on.
We are almost there. I'm talking to her eyes just to go, and
It's been a long day, y'all. Since early this morning. I've been up since so early this morning, so forgive me.
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to get you more active. What do you have to say about what we were talking about the Africans and kind of like the beef? Have you seen it at all?
I've actually seen it, and I've listened to some of the things they have said. And I've also talked to other people who've had experiences with them, even in the workplace. There's this, I don't want to sound like I'm putting people in a box, but just understand this is my experience.
Right.
There's this thing where, I'm going to get you to do my work.
Like they coming over here trying to make us slaves again.
So you work in the same place with them, and they'll fix it so you doing their work, but this is what they do. They'll gift you. They'll buy you little gifts. Little Temu gifts and all that stuff, and they'll act like they'll tell you we're family and all that stuff.
No,
they do that. They do that all the time.
No, we're not.
Oh, you're my sister, you're my brother, but the whole time they just want something from you. They're playing you.
They're playing you.
Exactly. You have to understand. This is the mindset of people who think they're going to a place where the people that look like them are beneath.
Yeah, they come here believing they are above us.
They come believing they are above us because they were not here, that their ancestors were not here to be enslaved. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. You know, even I remember growing up. Maybe I was a teenager by that time. I had met some people who were from upstate. They were from New York, and they told me that your ancestors were slaves. Mine were not. So my bloodline was smarter than you. Yeah, I've actually heard. I used to work with a lady. Oh man, I could tell y'all some stuff. I used to work with a lady. She would say stuff like that. She told me I wasn't. She told me I was not the supreme black.
There's supreme blacks now.
She said that my bloodline was watered down.
And she still had teeth after that conversation.
She ain't got no job. But
okay, that's even better, honey. Because I'm going for the teeth.
I didn't do nothing. She kept running her mouth and kept talking and ran her mouth to the wrong person, and things happened. But what I'm saying is that she was Haitian.
You coming from Haiti with that attitude?
Yes, ma'am.
Do we not know what's going on in Haiti right now? Do we not see Haiti?
She came with that. Told me I was watered down. I wasn't supreme black. I had never heard a day in my life.
I'm going to just say this because I always say what my co-host may not say because I don't care. I really don't. No one from Haiti should ever put your butt on your shoulder. Please don't. Don't do that.
She would do it. She
because
would do it.
Haiti, come on, and it, like you, I will say this. I'm not trying to drag nobody, but we know what Haiti looks like.
I think everybody needs to remain humble. That's the thing about it. Like at the end of the day, we're all humans, and let's just stick with that. But when you try to start, separating us by nationality and looking at the different diaspora and all that kind of stuff, you are spinning your wheels. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, guess what? To the colonizer, we're all black.
That's it. Period.
You are wasting
we talked about that too.
Yeah, you are wasting your time and your space with that. You're still black. You come over here and you think you're gonna, thrive and be better, you're still black.
And the truth of the matter is, if they know that you from Haiti, they really gonna dig in on you.
Yeah.
Because their president done told them your country is an S-hole, okay?
Yeah.
So, please don't come over here with your behind on your shoulders and try to, come at us like that. That's what you don't need to be doing.
I come from a place we don't have all those different people. You're the black and your whites, a couple Asians.
That's it.
But I never come from that, and I never heard of people of color speak these things that are spoken by people of different nationalities, but they're still black.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell y'all something, and this is my experience as well. Where I live, I have neighbors, of course, on both sides, and LaTanya knows my house. You guys don't. Well, and shout out to Miss Fee, by the way. I meant to Ben say that. Miss Fee is tuned in. She's over there in the KERB chat. She's been to my house too, so she knows when you're facing the house, the front of the house. To the right, there's an Indian family, an East Indian family. And then to my left, there is an African family. I don't know where in Africa they're from, but I just know they are. And I've noticed that I am able to go to my Indian neighbors and knock on their door. Like we had someone installing lights and they needed a super tall ladder. They had one sitting right in their yard. And I was like, well, I feel bad. But I knocked on the door. Lady comes, she's got her sari on. She's dressed in the Indian thing and she's just smiling. And I said, ma'am, would you mind if I borrow your ladder?
Right.
And I told her why. And she was like, oh, yes, no problem. You get it. And, you bring it back. Had them bring it back. No problem. I had a package that was delivered to my African neighbors to my house, and I walked it over there and I rang their doorbell, and the man comes to the door and he's looking at me like I got 10 heads.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, your package was delivered, and he goes to take the package and he's barely mumbling a word to me. Like the way he was looking at me was as if I was not worthy to even have rung his doorbell.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, I do.
And so I can tell right there's a huge difference in attitude.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, first of all, I wanted to snatch that package back and throw it in the street. Like, you know what? You go get it yourself. If you going to be ugly like that.
Really?
I could have just let the post office come and get it. Okay. Because
you didn't have to do that.
I didn't have to do that, but I figured, okay, my neighbor is right there. Let me just knock on the door and hand it to him.
Yeah.
But his whole demeanor was just ugly. So I was like, okay, never again. And I'll be out there. Now the kids are different because they're children.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they'll see me. Sometimes they'll be in the backyard. I'll be letting the dogs out or whatever. And they'll be like, hi, they'll speak. But the parents, just uppity.
That's
Like,
crazy.
wow.
That's crazy. Like
we literally live in the same neighborhood.
right next door.
In
So
fact, my house is bigger than yours. So take that. But okay, you can be ugly.
She said it.
I
She
said what I
it.
said.
She said
you
what she
being
said.
uppity
She's
with
not
me.
lying. Her
but,
house
but
is
my
bigger.
house is bigger than yours.
Hers
but
is
you
bigger.
acting like I'm beneath you in the
Yeah.
same neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's okay. Anyway, yeah, y'all go ahead and do that research. And for anyone who wants more information on foundational Black Americans, again, you can just Google that. There'll be some resources. But I'm gonna be honest with you, the best place to probably go is TikTok.
Oh yeah.
Because it's heavy over there. So if you go to TikTok and just search foundational Black Americans, you're gonna come up with so many different accounts. You'll find those people that speak Tuttonese. You need to do that because I'm gonna do that too. I'm gonna reach out to someone.
I'm gonna do it.
Now I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I was a little nervous because I saw another video so there's a difference. There's also Sulan. I don't know if you've heard of that.
I've heard of Sulan.
Sulan. Let me, because I wasn't focused on that, so I didn't pull that up. But they were basically saying Sulan for a foundational Black American, because y'all do know that I am biracial. Yes, you can. It doesn't go by your skin color. As long as you got one Black parent that came over here on that African slave trade,
right?
You are a foundational Black American, even if you're biracial. It's okay. But Sulan is something different. Okay, Sulan is like, we ain't messing with you half breeds. Okay?
What? Oh no.
Okay. So Sulan, the name reflects the deep connection to foundational American culture, with soul paying homage to the enduring traditions, soul music, soul food. The two A's standing for African American, which there's the difference because foundational Black Americans are trying to get away from that title. We're not doing the Pan-Africanism anymore. We're not doing that anymore because we see where it's getting us and we see what they really think about us. We're not from there. Our parents aren't from there. Our grandparents and great-grandparents, 400, 500 years.
I mean, it's time to get into the habit of saying you're a Black American.
Black American.
Not an
That's it.
African. I mean, you never lived in Africa.
Never even been.
And that's the thing about it. You have to call yourself an African American. Okay. This is what I always thought of, especially do one of those DNA ancestry things, right? You're gonna have some other, there's gonna be some other ethnicities.
Oh, mine's is all mixed
part
up.
of your background. So that's the case. What I'm gonna call myself? Oh, I'm Spanish, French, Native American, Irish,
my God, girl.
African American. No, I'm not gonna say all of that. Why do I have to pick African?
Yeah.
You're just a Black American.
If I had to do that, I have 18 regions.
18?
18 regions.
I don't know them all.
So
I know the ones from my dad's side.
I know all of them. I could rattle them off, but we ain't got that kind of time. But yeah, that would be kind of crazy. So yeah, I don't understand. And then I also thought about, I'm done with that, Sulan, whatever. We'll get into that another time. I also thought about, why is it that we're being called African American, having been born here in this country, because we're Black? What happens when a white African comes here? What happened? Because they do exist, y'all.
They do exist.
There are white Africans, as we know. So what happens when one of them come over here? What do you call them? Because they're African and they're white.
They are, but they are white presenting, so no one will care what to call them.
Yeah, I mean,
They're just white.
Well, yeah, but the question still stands. Do you
Right.
call them African American
I don't
in
know how
the
they do
United
that.
States when they come over here and decide to become a citizen?
Yeah, who
Do
knows?
you now call them African American? I'm so confused.
I know that would be the true African American.
That's actually all the ones that's coming from Africa.
They are African Americans.
They are the African Americans. If they have gotten their citizenship, those are the African Americans.
Right.
Baby,
Our history got wiped out, so it's basically started here. So we're American.
I feel like it should just be American.
Yeah.
We're just American, but we have to define one another by race.
You want to say Black American?
But just say
Okay.
Black American. I'm good with you saying a Black American. Don't call me African American. And it's not that I'm ashamed that my ancestors came from there.
Right.
I'm not ashamed of that at all. It's just that I can't relate.
Right.
I don't relate to y'all. My mother can't relate to y'all. 400, 500 years, they
Right.
ain't been there. But also interesting because when they start talking about, oh, you don't know where you come from and all it, baby, I came from Washington, D.C. I don't know what to tell you. My mother came from North Carolina. I don't know what to tell you. What you want me to tell you? That's where I'm from. Now, if you want to get into my ancestry,
Right.
okay, yeah, Nigeria, Benin, Tobago, Ghana, Ivory Coast.
I'm Benin.
I
I'm
got
Benin
all of
and
that.
Togo too.
Yeah, but am I Nigerian? Can I walk around and say that I'm Nigerian?
No.
I cannot.
No, you can't.
But it's also funny because they seem to forget, and I hate to say this because the racists always say this, but it's true that many black tribes in Africa sold our ancestors. It is the truth.
I believe
they
that.
did.
I believe that.
So
I believe that.
And from what I researched, they sold us, girl. They sold us for alcohol, firearms, and I can't remember what else it was. Beads. That's what they sold our ancestors for.
Trying to get rid of us, huh?
They got rid of us. So it's like the audacity for them to sit up here and kick us and say, well, you were slaves. Who put us there?
Yeah, and you know,
Who
and
put us there? You want to talk about it?
that's the crazy part.
I mean,
You cannot blame people for a predicament they were forced into. That
Yeah.
was forced. There was a lot of. Also, think about this: you had English men and you had African people. They could not understand each other.
yeah. How was they talking?
How they? So that's why when you say that they sold, I believe that because there had to be someone that could speak language to those people.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you got one African who could converse with the white man,
Yeah.
he was able to talk to no telling what he told those people.
Yeah.
And you're gonna go work for a while, or you're gonna go make some money. Someone you trust, someone that looks like you is telling you it's okay to go with this person.
Yeah.
And
But-
you go with them and you end up over here working in a hot field.
And that's kind of messed up also because there's another reason why they probably look down on us because they enslaved their own.
It sure did.
If you owed a debt, or something like that, you became a slave and
Yeah.
you had to work for that family,
Yeah.
for nothing other than a meal. So yeah, those were the ones that they sold, the ones that was already enslaved by them.
Yeah.
So y'all enslaved us and then sold us to the Europeans,
Crazy.
but got the nerve to stop talking. Okay. This is for any African who will. I don't care what country from Africa you from. Please stop talking about
You
us.
know nothing about being a black American.
Yeah.
You know nothing about being a black. You know as much as a white man knows.
Yeah.
You know nothing. And I don't like when people speak on things they don't know about.
Exactly.
It's like men try to talk about how women feel. You can't speak on it. You're not a woman.
You will never.
So you would never understand. And so unless you are a black American, unless you remember being a 5 or 6 year old little girl and some grown white man calls you the N-word, okay? Unless you remember going through racism in elementary school, unless you remember being treated differently in the school because you were a little black kid, I don't think you should speak on it.
You should not speak on it. So that's going to wrap up episode 14 of
Yes.
the Midweek Mic Drop podcast. And remember, know who you are, you guys. Know your worth and stop.
Add tax.
Yeah, please know your worth. Add tax. And don't let nobody beat you down. Just, start laughing and stuff off. Someone called you the N-word at this point. Yeah, y'all be wanting to knock teeth out. But
Yeah.
I think they get angrier if you just laugh at them.
They
like,
do.
y'all are so pathetic.
You're not entertaining it.
But yeah, we got to get out of here. We will be back next weekend. Next week, next Wednesday. Not sure what we're going to be talking about, but when we find out, you will know. So join us, same places. Thank you for everyone over on 99.9 KERB, 107.7 K-Twin and K-Twin Mix, and YouTube and Instagram. We thank you so much for tapping in. And that's it. You got anything else you want to say? Any shout
I just
outs?
want to apologize. I am so tired today.
It's all good. Look,
I'm going home to go to bed, but I wanted to make sure that we did this. I really did. I wanted to go home and go to bed, but I was like, no, we're going to do this today. So, yeah, but I think we had a good show.
I think so. And making sure that you know you can listen to this over on Spotify and, of course, over on YouTube and Instagram. We are out, you guys. Take care. Be blessed.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Midweek Mic Drop podcast. You can listen to a replay of this podcast on KERBOnline.live, podcasts and replays.